Imagine this, you have a bar of gold, a solid bar of gold, but you walk out of the trading shop with only $2. That is TERA. Hey guys, Misaki and Kodalina here. You know, I've been playing TERA on and off since 2015, and after more than 3,000 hours clocked in the game, I finally decided to pull the plug and peace out. The Exiled realm of Arborea, aka TERA, is an action combat MMORPG that was released back in January 2011. It was created by Bluehole Studios. It was a bright time for MMOs, to be honest, with so many cool new releases left and right, and it stood out as one of the most beautiful ones. Its action combat system was a breath of fresh air in the sea of top targeting MMOs. It focused on enemies called BAMs, which were these huge big monsters. Always felt amazing defeating one. Man, those were good times. It had its shares of troubles during the release. It started off as a subscription service, then later on went free to play in 2013. Players had a mixed reaction to the change, but overall the game grew, and in October of 2014, TERA dropped its first expansion and exploded in popularity. But well, with TERA's popularity, they drew in toxic players. But before that, we gotta talk about a controversy that plagued the game for a while, and that was the Elin race. The Elin is basically a childlike race, a usual staple of East Asian MMOs for some reason. However, TERA's approach was a bit overbearing, as some scratch that. Most outfits were just
straight up awful.
Inappropriate is the word I will use, and it gave TERA a controversy that plagued it till today. You could even say that the Elin race broke TERA, or made TERA, depends on what side of the argument you'd like to join though. So back to the topic at hand, the toxic players. The drama. Well, to fully understand this, let's go back a bit. You know, TERA was made in Unreal Engine 3 and was incredibly, terribly optimized, especially when it came to PvP content. It was the first bullet in TERA's lifeline. You needed a serious PC in those days to be able to hit 60 FPS. Secondly was the natures of TERA's action combat system. It required the lowest possible ping to play it. And thus came the proxy, now known as the TERA Toolbox. TERA Proxy is basically a third-party tool that helped many players resolve high ping issues and also fixed FPS drops, plus some cool extra ease of life conveniences, basically like World of Warcraft add-ons. Some classes such as Slayer and Warrior were unplayable for most without using the proxy. Also included tools that made role classes such as tanks and healers play more effectively, you know. It was clearly working, doing great for the community. Until Bluehole released a new class called the Valkyrie. The Valkyrie, although a superb addition to TERA, loved by the player base, had a glaring security issue in one of its skills, and that was Memeslash. This is a boss that takes at least 20 players to defeat after 40-50 minutes. I mean, look at that. Hey, if you are enjoying this, help out a brother by checking out my other videos. And that thing YouTubers always say, no, the other one. Oh no. Anyway, like and subscribe to support the channel. Back on topic. Where were we? Yes. Sadly, that wasn't even the actual problem. The real problem came after, which was the reaction of the publishers. Just absolute garbage. They started banning anyone who even mentioned the word proxy in the game chat and on forums. And as I mentioned before, a ridiculously large number of players relied on it. So suddenly you are having 40 to 60% of all your player base vanishing. and they are the same ones who have invested and spent big bucks in the game. It was downhill from here on. Some devs who worked on the proxy tried to reach out and explain how it works so the game devs can work out a solution, but instead, guess what? They banned them. They banned them. The drama went on for so long, NMAS Entertainment, who were the North American publishers, lost its good reputation because of how they mishandled the Fallout. Bluehole, on the other hand, sent out an emergency patch that was bypassed in a couple of days. The proxy devs then decided to deploy a smart trick so that whoever uses Memeslash will be sent to a doom zone, basically a void area of the map where their characters can never escape. It worked. Worked a little too good, so much that NMAS found out that the people possessing Memeslash was far higher and started freeing trapped players. Yes. Yeah, I agree, madness. At this point, NA players had enough and moved over to the EU publisher Gameforge, which was notorious for being pay to win, but at this point NA was no longer worth staying at. The EU happily welcomed plenty of NA refugees. In August of 2020, NMAS, TERA's NA publishers, closed its doors and TERA NA was given over to Gameforge. Rest in peace. By the time the second large expansion, which pushed the level cap to 70, that also came with a new game zone and the most needed x64-bit version to fix lag, it was a little too late. The once loving and passionate players on TERA had moved on to greener pastures. Some over to Blade and Soul, others to Black Desert Online, others to the Elder Scrolls Online, and others to Guild Wars 2. So what is keeping TERA on life support? 2 words. Action combat. True action combat. Even with Black Desert Online, Blade and Soul and Guild Wars 2, they just don't compare. Once you experience TERA's high-end PvE dungeon combat, everything else feels lacking. Well, I can't say the same for PvP though. TERA is still surviving because of its combat system and loyal players. The graphics have aged and really need a lift. Check out this video by Greenstrike, who's porting some parts of TERA to Unreal Engine 4, just absolutely amazing. Sadly, after Bluehole, it's now called Krafton. After Krafton hit the success of PUBG, yep, I made that. After PUBG's success, TERA has been thrown into the corner. Probably only interns working on it now. Their MMORPG team has been focused instead on Elin, which looks promising, but definitely isn't TERA. With all that said, sadly, here's the core reasons why TERA's population doesn't grow anymore. 1. Toxic players. My goodness, TERA has the most unwelcoming endgame player base I've ever seen, especially in North American servers. It's like Call of Duty on Xbox Live. They are merciless to new players. 2. The devs focus too much on endgame content and only care about keeping those that are already long-time players. They do little to nothing to support new players to the game. It is the same issue that Blade and Soul was facing. 3. The game is massively bloated. 70 gigabytes. 70 gigabytes of your storage space is a serious investment, and keeping it around for just 2 dungeons is not worth it. 4. Queue times are unbearable. If you don't play a main class role like a tank, you won't survive without a guild, which creates a loop. The less players there, the longer the queues. The longer the queues, the less players, as in more players quit. So TERA is finding itself in an unending loop and becoming more like the dead game Revelation Online. Krafton needs to make a hard decision and revert the servers to the back in the days era, the 2014-2015 patch, when Gameforge released a new server called TERA Classic, which took the game back to its origin. It was a blast. People truly had fun. All they really need to do is transfer the game over to Unreal Engine 4 and start afresh. With everything that I mentioned, TERA still has an active endgame population. It is completely free to play, so you can dive in and check it out for yourself without paying a cent. Actually, it's still one of the best free-to-play MMOs on the market, you know. But sadly, the future is bleak and well, we don't know what the future holds for TERA, you know. Well, thanks for making it this far. It was a blast reminiscing about this game. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please leave me a thumbs up. Helps with all that algorithm stuff, you know. And subscribe for more. With that said, see you in the next one.